So I have the Naked Cowgirl and the Naked Cowboy with me here today, Cindy Fox and Robert. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here tonight.
I was invited here by Eric Alt, who is my celebrity hairstylist. You can't tell into that. And Lori Michaels, who is my manager. So they brought me here today to make my appearance, watch the show support, have some fun.
I'm just a boy toy.
Right. And, you know, I needed a good-looking guy on my arm.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about how you got started.
He's been doing it for a very long time and is trademarked. And it's taken a while of persuading for me to finally get up the nerve to bear all in the middle of New York City, learn how to play a guitar and pull it all together. So he is really the one who started the whole thing. I am just following along in his footsteps.
So tell me more, Robert. Tell me why you decided to get into, what you do today.
Well, in a nutshell, no pun intended, I was a big Anthony Robbins buff. He wrote the book Unlimited Power, and it just was the book that inspired me when I was younger and went nuts with it. No, again, no pun intended. I wanted to be the most famous, most celebrated entertainer of all time in the history of the world. And basically, I was in Venice Beach, California in 1997, shooting for Playgirl magazine. At that time, I considered myself a model, an actor, and a country singer. And when I played on played on Venice Beach boardwalk in my clothes, I was completely ignored. And a photographer who was shooting me naked in a magazine suggested playing my underwear. And when that happened, I basically had the epiphany of marshaling my resources, as Tony would say, and I put the country singer, the bodybuilder, and the model all together, and not being the best at any one of those things, but having a good, the creativity aspect of it. The Naked Cowboy was born at that point, and I've been outside my underwear every single day since, in mega metropolises every single day, literally, primarily New York City, for 13 years. And again, it's become, an entire industry, and an institution has been built around it now. And so there's a franchise. There are several Naked Cowboys and there are several Naked Cowgirls, and each one works as a team, and we all work to promote and sell Naked Cowboy oysters globally.
Tell us more about how you really got into being the Naked Cowgirl.
Okay. First, let's just start with saying I have been a fitness instructor since I was a senior in high school. Believe it or not, back then, you didn't really have to be certified. So I was already into bodybuilding as a teenager. So I was able to get hired in high school, my senior year, teaching aerobics and working in the weight room. And it was just something I just completely loved because I was a gymnast when I was a kid. So it was the closest thing to that, I guess, that I could do. So I pursued that, and I figured, well, I need a full-time job or something, and I didn't really plan for college. And then I said, well, I guess I could be a gym teacher. That's kind of in that area. And I started school on and off, and I wind up married and pregnant at a very early age. So I had my first son actually on my 23rd birthday, my best birthday present ever. So I just put school off a little bit, but then, I picked it back up, and anyway, fast forward, it just kept taking a long time, and then I had my second child, my daughter. I continued doing the training and teaching classes and going to school with the two kids. So finally I was done, and I'm back in school full time, and
Third one.
My younger son, which my life would not be what it is today. I think I firmly believe that everything happens for a reason, and everything is a learning lesson. And I think, unfortunately, we don't always learn right away from things that we do or our supposed mistakes. But it takes a little while, and eventually you finally, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh my God, finally I realize what's going on here, and if all that didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So it seems like a lifetime ago, because after my third child, I became separated and found myself now with a part-time aerobics job, 3 kids.
Incredible. How do you balance all of this?
Well, there's a lot to be said about sometimes you just do what you have to do when you don't have a choice. You just somehow you find and do what you have to do. But my workouts have been really my savior. I mean, if I don't get to do my workouts for a few days, you know, forget it. I don't have the patience to do things. I'm irritated. I feel crappy, you know. So as long as I've been able to keep on teaching classes, do my workout, you know, at least I can keep my sanity about the whole thing. So that helps. And I got to the point where I said, okay, now I have 3 kids, getting divorced, and I need a job. So I went to school for X-ray, 2 years, which somehow I pulled up a 3.98. I was all excited about that. And I've been doing that for about 9 years part-time. Did fitness part-time, and in the meantime I had been with the Naked Cowboy, who I met in a gym, didn't know anything about a cowboy thing, never heard of him, and we just became friends. We started dating. And
how long have you been dating for?
This month will actually be 7 years. Yeah. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. We've been living together about 6 years now. So
do you see each other often? Because you're both like crazy schedules, and how does that work?
You know, sometimes it feels like I walk out the door, he just woke up, and I'm like, okay, see you later. And then I'll get home at the end of the night, and, you know, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock before we sit down. We'll chill out, put the TV on, you know, relax for a little while. But there's other days where my schedule is flexible, and, you know, I'll see him for a few hours in the afternoon where most people wouldn't.
What tips can you offer our viewers?
I would have to say time management is like a huge thing that you have to learn to prioritize things, take the time. I know every book that you read, inspirational, motivational, will always say, sit down, write in your journal, write out what you want. I would literally paint my fingernails in my class, you know, in school. I would put mascara on in the car. I would have my audio tapes in the cassette in the car to study my medical terminology, or I would read my notes on the stationary bike, so I got my workout and I studied. You know, you just have to find a way, like what can you absolutely not cut out of your schedule, what do you have to have there, and how do you somehow make it all fit. And when you start nodding out like 4 times at the table thinking you're going to study, it's time to just shut the book and go to sleep, because you have to sleep too.
And is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers?
Yes. A couple of my famous quotes, not mine, but that I love, is this too shall pass. Good one. Everything happens for a reason. As crummy as things seem to be sometimes, you don't know what the reason is, but if you have a little faith that at somewhere down the road, you'll look back and say, ah, that's why. You know, and just follow what your gut tells you. Staying in a job or something that you absolutely hate, you only have one life. So I know maybe you can't just change it right away, but you know, little tiny changes over a period of time, consistency, you know, like even with workouts and stuff, I tell my clients, just take little tiny steps and be consistent, and eventually that'll make a change. So
excellent. Thank you so much, Cindy. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.